Good day everyone, I am Jason T. Badillo. This video is all about the lesson in Course Ed 101, the child, adolescent, and learners and learning principles. Specifically, as part of today's discussion, I will share information and knowledge about the topic KOHLBERG'S stages of moral development. Before we proceed, in the main proponent of this discussion on the key concepts of KOHLBERG'S 6 stages of moral development, let me provide a brief background on KOHLBERG and his theory. First of all, Lawrence KOHLBERG was a professor of education and social psychology at the Harvard University. He began as a developmental psychologist and then moved in the field of education. He was influenced by the Swiss psychologist Jean Piaget, who was famous for his theory on the moral development of children. KOHLBERG was particularly well known for his theory of moral development, which he developed through his extensive research on the topic at the Harvard's Center of Moral Education. As well-known, Lawrence KOHLBERG's theory of moral development was derived from his interviews with young boys distributed from early childhood to late adolescence. In this interview, KOHLBERG asked participants to respond to hypothetical ethical dilemmas. He did not aim to judge whether responses were right or wrong. He just interested in analyzing the moral reasoning behind the response. The result of the study allowed KOHLBERG to come up with his famous stages of moral development. He believed that people progress in their ability to reason morally through 6 stages, which could be generally classified into 3 levels. And these are the pre-conventional level, conventional level, and the post-conventional level. Each level has 2 stages, and each of which has corresponding social orientation. The first level on KOHLBERG's stages of moral development is pre-conventional level, which happened from 3 to 7 years old. In this level, moral reasoning is based on the consequence or result of the act, not on whether the act itself is good or bad. In simpler terms, in this level, the primary concern is the consequence of one's action. In this level, children base their judgment on external consequence, for example, punishment and reward. Hence, at this level, obedience is based on authority. In the pre-conventional level, children's sense of morality is extremely controlled, and children behave accordingly that they accept and believe the roles imposed by authority figures like parents, teachers, and community elders. Under the pre-conventional level, we have the stage 1 and stage 2. The first stage is obedience and punishment. In this stage, one is motivated by fear of punishment. The child behaves according to social acceptable rules or norms because she or he is told to do so by some authority figures like her or his parents, teachers, and elders in the community. In simpler means that individual will obey the rules in order to avoid punishment. The second stage is mutual benefit, or also known as individualism and exchange orientation. In this stage, it is concerned with one's interests or advantage. One is motivated to act by the benefit that one may obtain later. KOHLBERG observes that children behave in the right way because they thought that doing so brings practical results. Hence, as KOHLBERG sees, that one obeys the norms because it is beneficial to oneself. In this stage, moral decisions are made based on the reward one can receive. For example, the scratch my back and I'll scratch yours mentality. After pre-conventional level follows conventional level, which happens from 8 to 13 years old. In this level, moral reasoning is based on convention or norms of society. This may include approval of others, law, and order. The child is concerned more with societal relationship with emphasis on social conformity. In the conventional level, there is a shift from self-interest to relationship with other people. According to Kohlberg, the individual strive to support the rules that are set forth by others such as parents, peers, and government to win their approval or maintain social order. Thus, in the conventional level, children continue to accept the rules of authority figures, not because of self-interest, but because they thought that behaving according to said rules will necessarily ensure positive relationship and societal order. Under conventional level, we have the third and fourth stages. The third stage is social approval. In this stage, one is motivated by what others expect in behavior. Good boy or good girl. The person acts because he or she values how he or she will appear to others. He or she gives importance on what people think or say. In simple terms, in this level, it is concerned with peer and group acceptance. Kohlberg says that the reaction of others are somehow the basis of decision-making and behavior. For this reason, peer and group acceptance become the rule of the day, and that individual behaves accordingly to maintain good relationships with others. After the third stage follows the stage 4, which is law and order. In this stage, it is concerned with legalistic orientation, characterized by obedience to the law, responding to obligation of duty, and respect of those in authority. One is motivated to act in order to uphold the law and order. The person will follow the law because it is the law. Kohlberg believes that this stage is important because there is a higher value in obeying the law than by simply seeking approval of one's peers. After the conventional level follows the third and last level of Kohlberg's stages of moral development, which is post-conventional level, which happens from teenage year to adulthood. In this level, moral reasoning is based on enduring or consistent principles. It is not just recognizing the law, but the principles behind the law. It focuses on common good and universal moral principles. According to Kohlberg, person in this level make judgment based on impartial universal moral principles, even when this judgment may conflict with societal standards. Under the post-conventional level, we have the stage 5 and stage 6. The fifth stage is the social contract. In this stage, laws that are wrong can be changed. One will act based on social justice and the common good. This stage is anchored on understanding the social mutuality and genuine interest in welfare of others. Laws and rules are considered social contracts, and these are for the good of the community and for equal protections of individual rights. The sixth and last stage is universal principles. This is associated with development of one's conscience, having a set of standards that drives one to possess moral responsibility to make societal changes regardless of consequences to oneself. For Kohlberg, the basis of one's action is not just the common good or social contract, but a deeper universal principles of justice, dignity, and equality. Moral decision is not just based on the laws and rules of the society, but one's conscience. An important note, according to Lawrence Kohlberg, the individual's growth and development in progression is from one stage to another. An individual cannot jump from stage 1 to stage 4 without passing through stages 2 and 3. One's moral development is linear